Rock to join the live stream. We're live. That's my narrative. We are live. What is going on, LBHT crew? Listen. This is what the Ravens do to us. It got B over there angry. Okay, that's how bad they're playing. He's a Panthers fan. We are joined by our guy Hendo, Mr. Ravens, online, gatekeepers. Make sure you go. Don't get the merch.
I didn't even notice.
He was like, "That's a nice shirt. What is that?"
Appreciate that.
We also got Mr. OTR Mike, host of Open Mic with OTR Mike, dropping tomorrow. Look, you see what he got.
Ravens got me drinking, man. Cousin Davon, salute to you, brother.
Salute to Davon. Yes. And you guys are in here early. You guys, look. I'll start reading it. Shout out to Emphasis. Says, man, cheap wins like this keep kicking the can down the road of firing these coaches. This should have been a blowout. Yes. Also, he says, congrats to the Panthers. This guy called it right here. Yes, I just want to point that out. Congrats to the Panthers. That top 5 pick probably still coming. And y'all can say y'all smoked Brady. Taylor Heineke could never. Well, Taylor Heineke smoked Aaron Rodgers today.
Yeah. Well, he beat him by 2. So
look, a win's a win, okay? Shout out to Shaheen, man. Shaheen been hanging out with us all weekend. Appreciate you coming through. Says, don't let this win deceive you. Our passing game was beyond awful. I don't think anybody looked at this game and said, passing game straight. I don't think one person said that. Greg Roman needs to go ASAP. Agree. And they better move heaven and earth for a real receiver. All facts, Shaheen. All facts.
Why? We got D-Jack coming next week, Thursday.
Andy Isabella, he chilling in the vault. Okay, they about to break him loose. Chen Wu, thanks for coming through. Says happy Sunday, LBHT. Ravens win. PQ is a star. And hashtag the Sugar Show.
That's Rock.
Huh?
That's who that is.
That's right.
Is that right? Is Chen Wu Rock? He changed it up on us. We need to
see identification.
Right. I know he ain't talking about Sean O'Malley. Sean O'Malley lost that fight, my friend.
Not in the record books.
Not in the record books. But he did not win that fight. Shout out to Danny. Thanks for coming through. Says we won, I guess. Shout to Steve Wilkes showing tap dancing bulls a lesson.
Wow.
Look, I saw those comments. It wasn't that bad. I don't think he was trying to make that point.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think he was trying to say, hey, like color doesn't exist. I think he was saying for him and other black coaches,
ain't my problem.
Yeah. And shout out to Noah for the $20 donation. Appreciate it. Says good Sunday afternoon, everyone in the LBHT crew community. Hope all is well. And if they ain't, hopefully things get better for y'all. I'm tired of those close but ugly wins. I want change, he says. Actual good coaches along with a GM who's good at his job. Hashtag LBHT crew for life. Yes, I agree. Appreciate you, Noah.
Thank you.
All right, Noah putting in that OT, man. Shout out to you, bro.
Yes, let's get Hendo. Give us your thoughts on the game. Let's break this game down. Ravens win 23-20. Panthers win in a beatdown win 21-3. Let's get some thoughts on this.
It's a good day for us all. Yes. The Ravens, I'm not impressed. Lamar Jackson, he is our quarterback. He's our superstar. He has to carry the weight of everything, but I still think he struggles with throwing the ball away at certain times. There were a couple of sacks where, he should have just threw the ball away. But of course, he's trying to make a play because he knows that we don't have anything. As usual, we start the games off very slow. We're ill prepared coming into games. The defense started slow. The offense started slow. We started getting it together. But second half, I think that the collapse now is no longer physical. I think it's mental. I think it's a mental obstacle that we need to overcome because once the second half comes, we just start making dumb mistakes for no apparent reason. Justice Hill's looked good every game he's played this year, but in the final minutes, he fumbles. I think the defense, I give the defense props. They held the game in check like they were supposed to when it came down to it. Might have been aided by a call or two at the end, but the offense needs to get it together. We need a change and soon.
Mikey, your thoughts?
Man, I got a headache. I can't I don't know if I could keep watching football like this every year. I mean, every season or this season. To be honest with you, it's just it's. I don't know, man. I don't even know what to say. It's just odd. I agree with Hendo that it does appear to be mental, but it's just odd that every game is playing out the same. Like it's literally playing out the same. We going into the second half with leads, where in years past, 10-point or better lead, game's over.
It's a wrap.
But it plays out exactly the same. We up 10, right? We scored. We're up 10. They score, right? We up 3. We go down to score again. We back up 10. Then we let them go down, fourth quarter, easily score. Then we get the ball. We're driving. We're up 3, turnover. Or something bad. It's like that every game. So it's hard to explain. I mean, I'm going to take the win, right? Because you got to win these games, especially division games. They're ugly.
Yes.
They're going to be ugly. So you got to, win is a win at the end of the day. But clearly it's a lot left to be cleaned up. So we'll see how it goes, man. A short week this week. I don't know if maybe a short week will get the juices going. Typically, it's the opposite way around, but maybe it will do the reverse effect for us. But we'll see.
Yeah, B. Let's talk about your Panthers real quick. They got a huge win. Yeah, B is just never happy.
No, man.
You beat a division rival. You beat Tom Brady. He's just like.
I mean, why is it a good thing?
Because it's always fun beating your rival. You can still get a top pick and win some games.
It's possible, right? It's possible, but losing guarantees we get that top pick. Okay? Like, listen, no, don't send me signals that you're tanking and then go out there and play your best game of the season. You fired your coach and traded the best player on the team. What are you doing?
So I mean, look, they're sending all kinds of mixed signals because they did trade Christian McCaffrey, and it looked like there's going to be a fire sale on the team. They put out a price tag for players. They said this is what it cost to get Brian Burns, and some teams made the offers, and they said, "Nah, just kidding, we're keeping them." All right. So I don't know. They want to keep Brian Burns. They want to keep DJ Moore. I see you guys typing in the chat. We need DJ Moore. They're not going to get rid of DJ Moore. They're not trading him. I can understand wanting to keep DJ Moore. Brian Burns, me and B talked about it. For 2 first-round picks, which was what was reported that was offered, you gotta give him up.
Yeah,
you can get another edge rusher.
He's not a great player. He's a good player. And Davon saying, getting the top pick regardless. They're behind Detroit now. I mean, Detroit does a lot more talking than they do winning. So, I mean. It's not like that, and people can say, "Oh, it's whatever." You're still picking at the top, but tell that to the team who took Ryan Leaf after Peyton Manning went off the board.
Well, okay. So, but hold on. So there's supposed to be a few really good quarterbacks in this draft class, right?
Yeah, there's supposed to be.
But I'm saying, we got to figure out who are y'all targeting, because for the Bills, when they got Josh Allen, they knew from the beginning of the season that they wanted Josh Allen, right? Mm-hmm. They weren't looking at anybody else. And Josh Allen wasn't the top quarterback to go, right? And the Bills had made the playoffs that year, but they did whatever they needed to do to move up and get him. I think the same thing for Kansas City. I think Kansas City knew going into that draft, and they were a playoff team when they got Pat Mahomes, but they already knew they wanted Pat Mahomes.
They weren't a bad team. They weren't trying to tank. But it's not about whether or not you can. Yeah, you can theoretically get whoever, right? You can make a trade and move up. It's about not having to give up more assets that you already don't have to make that happen when you can just make it happen on the field. But they played really well. Obviously, the players aren't going to quit. I mean, that's an organizational thing. The run game really showed up today. The defense obviously really showed up today. So they played a great game. Yeah, I wonder why you didn't do that the first 6 weeks.
All right, let me read a couple more comments in here. Shout out to Yolanda B. Thanks for coming through, Yolanda. Says, while I'm happy we won, the continued mistakes and lack of preparedness cannot be overlooked. It's frustrating. And yes, they want hashtag LBHT crew. Appreciate that. MJ says a win is a win, but shout out to them Panthers for embarrassing the Bucks. Yo, everybody's happy about your Panthers today, B.
Except for me.
Yeah, everybody without a vested interest in the future of the Carolina Panthers
thinks
it was a great win.
We have an interest.
Let's see. Is this right? Is
It's
Tim
got
Wu
to
right?
be. It's
gotta
got to be.
He says Hendo must get a Patrick Queen jersey.
Not if you bought it. I still wouldn't wear it.
We're gonna hit up Purple Rain Podcast. We're gonna get them to get Pat to sign one for you.
What's up, Darren? Shout out to Darren, man. It says PQ heard him talking trash. Hey, he had a big game today.
He did.
He those back-to-back tackles for a loss is exactly what we've been waiting to see from him. Right? Not thinking about it, hitting the right gap, and just making the tackle.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
And he got a sack on top of that.
And he got a sack.
Yeah.
But Brodny said he was unblocked, so
well, that's when usually on those type of plays, the player is unblocked. Do you guys remember when Ray Lewis hit Darren Sproles in the backfield?
Engulfed the Darren Sproles in the backfield.
Yeah.
Listen, he was unblocked, but that was perfectly timed.
It was.
What about when he broke Mendenhall's shoulder?
Whoo! Should have been talking trash.
Broke his soul, I think.
And Rashad Mendenhall quit and went into directing.
Yeah. And listen, good for him, man.
Yeah.
Live your dream.
Yeah. I don't like football like that.
Nobody says I want to get up and get hit all day, every day for a living.
Chris Hall says Ravens trying to keep Lamar's stats down. Man, look, they try to keep their jobs. Okay, they try to manufacture yards and points however they can. They are desperate right now. And shout out to MDT Sports. I'm sorry, I don't think I read your comment. You're one of the first people in here. It says G-Roll McDonald needs to get fired. Hey, no disagreement there. Shout out to Marco G for a $2 donation. Says Panthers beat Bucks, and now Ravens got to follow it up Thursday. Oh, double L's for Bucks. Also, I am wrong to say we gotta find. We got a kind of lucky today with the bad call on the Browns and on the field goal. Yeah. Look, bad calls happen. I mean, we receive them all the time. So when 1-2 go in our favor, I'll take it. That's just the nature of the sport. So,
well, was it? I got confused. Maybe y'all could clear it up. But when they brought in was it
Gene Steratore?
Yeah, Steratore. He made it more confusing by saying if this player 2 spots down moved and then 71 moved, but that didn't count. So I don't know if it was a bad call or not. Like,
because they weren't even sure who they called it on.
Right.
And when they were saying that, he was just saying if it was that one guy who was far away, then that's the correct call because you have to be within one. And I don't know how you can be 1.5 spots. Just say you have to be right next to him. But you have to be within 1.5 spots of whoever it is who jumped across the line for it to be, which is a nonsense rule anyway. But all 3 Ravens dove across the line.
And that's the thing. I think that rule is for if they flinch. But being that he touched another player, it's null and void.
No.
Once he
but technically no. If he flinches first, that ends the play right there. If that's what they're calling, But he was saying that it was the guy on the other side to that, not even the player who got touched, but a guy on the other side of the center who flinched.
Man, we got away with one. That's all there is to it.
It is.
Shout out to Tracy. Tracy says, my son is a Panthers fan, so good for them. Hey, shout out to your son.
Indeed.
Says, go Panthers. I just can't watch Ravens offense. I'm with you there. No creativity at all, and we need elite wide receivers so bad. Really sick of this crap. My head aches, man.
Well, that's my thing is, it's a good win for Baltimore, right? If you just look at it in a vacuum, you're going to get into tough games. You're going to get into games where you have trouble moving the ball, trouble scoring. You're going to get into games where you're turning the ball over. Just close, hard-fought games that you need your defense to win, right? That's going to happen to every team, no matter what. But like Mike was saying, I mean, this is, I believe now, 4. I think it's 4 out of their 7 games that Lamar has thrown for under his body weight. And like Baltimore, they should be embarrassed. Like he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and he went out there and he threw for 120 today. That's his 3rd game throwing under 200 yards.
And
you need to get him some help.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see what people say about this performance because he did pretty much all he could do out there. He didn't make any real mistakes, right? I saw a couple of people say, "Oh, he was holding on to the ball too long." Listen. I saw a couple times where when he got sacked, I saw 2 people running routes. I'm pretty sure one of them wasn't a wide receiver, right? Like, what is he supposed to do? Like, you got a tight end, you got a wide receiver, they run in the same area, and then you got a running back, coming out in the same area. They're all in the same general area. They're all covered, and nobody can get open, right? What's he supposed to do? Okay, throw the ball away, but they're all over there, right? He's not outside the pocket.
Hold on, Jose.
Yes.
What are you doing, man?
What? Oh no! Again,
no, Kimberly.
We never forget you, Kimberly. Wow. Shout out to Kimberly. Appreciate you coming through.
My sincerest apologies, Kimberly.
Yes, I'm sorry.
I don't know what Jose is thinking.
Kimberly, you saw who brought up the comment, right? He should have found that. He should have found your comment. Hey, shout out to Kimberly Harmon, good friend of the show. Okay, thanks for coming through on this Sunday. Yeah, see, DeAndre agrees with me. He says facts, Jose. Okay. Living legends in that. In fact, get a couple shots. Living legends.
I think we're allowed to bring up comments just because they agree with you. That's not.
I think that's so. Cali Mahmoud says, fellas, that screenplay, he threw the ball to the ground. Is it just me, or was that a missed block?
No, I mean you let the defenders through on screens. It's just, I mean, I would have to go back and look. It looked like Kenyon Drake was drifting a little bit, like drifting upfield a little bit, but I mean he missed the throw.
Yeah, it was a missed block too. You watch it, Josh Oliver completely whiffed on the guy coming. He was there to set the block, and he missed it. But I mean, again, he missed it. You know what I mean? He missed the throw.
Yeah, listen, Josh Oliver, man, like this is somebody that he has to depend on. Every week we talk about how Josh Oliver almost caught it. Oh yeah, maybe he should have had it, but it was a tough catch. It's a tough pass. Oh yeah, he was so close, but he missed the block. Like it's always something with Josh Oliver, man. Mm-hmm. And this is who Lamar has to depend on. It's disgusting. Shout out to Josh Hoffman says we had to believe Bateman was Julio Jones in his second year, reincarnated to be okay with this wide receiver room. Facts.
Oh, they just believe the wide receivers don't matter.
No. He's talking about the fans, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah. The fans for sure.
Yeah.
No, Chenwu, no, stop.
I mean, look, I think, look, Rock.
Yes.
Okay.
Rock.
Right. If you truly believe that, you are standing on an island alone now. All that whole army of crochet truthers, they will not stand by your side any longer. Okay. So if you're saying that, what's up, King? Says Ricard in the slot is disgusting. Man.
100%.
Josh says doing it. Definitely the fans. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
100%. Every time he went out for a route, like even the screenplay he caught, right? Mm-hmm. The person I'm thinking about is B. And I'm like, B said that. If he's on the field, he's got to be one of his, he's got to be one of his choices. People get mad that, why does he throw it to Ricard? Because he's a fullback, because he's out there and he's out running the route. So he's an option to throw it to. So like he's out there far too much, especially in the passing game. Like, listen, I like the way he blocks. He does have a role on this team, but to be out there and running route, I agree with you, King. It is disgusting to see it.
Yeah.
Going in motion. Like you got the fullback going in motion to run a pattern.
Mm-hmm.
It makes no sense.
Yeah. And it's like, well, why are you throwing to him? Well, why is he running a route?
Right.
Yeah. Why is you putting a wide receiver out there? And look, and I will say that for Chenwu, formerly known as Rock. Yeah. Look, he's out there. Like he needs to get be involved more. Like he should be more involved than Patrick Ricard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But he can't block, bro.
Yeah.
He got a penalty.
Mike, I don't know if you know your screen is frozen. I'm not sure if you can tell on your side. Mike, still there?
It's working perfectly on my end. Okay.
No, you're frozen.
Let me see what I can do.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you just like that shot and you just wanted to say it as that, or.
But Chet was saying that Prochet gives his all out there on the field, right? Prochet gives it his all out there. Doesn't matter, and that's the problem with the Ravens. I don't care how hard you play if you can't play. Go and get guys with talent. Go and get guys who can actually make the plays, not just try to make the plays. Go and get guys who can affect the game in a positive manner, right? Like, but Baltimore loves these, like y'all call them, they love the choir boys, the tryhards, the guys who will run up that hill. You know, it's complete and utter nonsense. You're wasting one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah, I like those guys too. I like them with talent though.
I don't like those guys at all, because stop telling me about the hill you ran up. I don't care.
Look, I don't care. I like those videos.
No,
okay?
No, you don't. Because why don't you tell everybody your opinion on J.J. Watt? He does that more than anybody.
Listen. There's you can have there's too much of any good thing, right? Right?
You didn't like it when he was the first dude out on the field flipping tires on Hard Knocks.
Listen, I love chocolate chip cookies. In fact, me and Jacob will stay up late past our bedtimes to bake chocolate chip cookies and eat them. But if we eat too many, right, I'm gonna have a stomach ache. And JJ Watt always gives me a stomach ache. All right.
Am I still frozen, by the way?
Your screen's black now.
Your screen's black.
What the heck?
We can hear you perfectly. That's fine.
That's look, that's those guys that attacked me earlier on Twitter.
Wow.
The Ravens capers, they attacking me, man. They hacked my screen, man.
Wow.
Trentanson says, I like those guys with talent, is hilarious. Yeah. Chevu says, who is Rock?
You are Rock.
Well played, sir.
I don't know Chevu is Rock. He's so positive.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, that is
Chenwu's just Chenwu.
And his answers are really short.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. We apologize, Chenwu.
Yeah.
Sorry, Keith Johnson says, heard a rumor where sources confirm Ravens are inquiring about Jerry Jeudy. Any chances we can actually land him? I'm glad you brought this up, Akeem, because I don't know if you see some of my snark comments on Twitter. Every time there's a trade or a signing that goes down, by putting quotation marks, the Ravens were interested. There's Mikey. He's back.
Yeah, there you go.
He's back.
They inquired.
Yeah, I always put that. Ravens were interested. I don't think they're interested at all. I think they see somebody's available and they tell a reporter, yeah, we're interested in them. So their name could be put on the report too, to show Ravens fans, see, we tried. Because if you wanted Jerry Jeudy, first of all, if they really wanted Jerry Jeudy, they could have just drafted Jerry Jeudy, right? Trade up and get him. And I don't want to hear he went higher than our pick. We had 11 picks.
They had so many picks.
Okay. They could have went up and got him. And if they want him now, he's available. It shouldn't be they're interested. It should be we traded for him. What are you waiting for? What's the whole? You need a wide receiver more than any other team out there. So you need to be out there super aggressive, making it happen. And I told B2, I would. There's a rumor that Bradley Chubb might be available too. Yeah, I'll go ahead and take him as well. In fact, look,
I wouldn't take Bradley Chubb.
Listen, I take both of them. We got first round picks. You want an edge rusher? We got Ojabo. You guys like hurt edge rushers? you could take David Ojabo. Get both of them. I don't care. We give up all of our draft picks.
Yep.
All right, let's read a couple more comments here, man. I'm fired up now. Just Allah, what's going on? Says, don't listen to them, Mike. Stay black, my brother. Kelly said, did you guys watch the 2012 Super Bowl 47 champion honor on Baltimore Ravens YouTube? It was awesome. I didn't watch it.
I saw clips of it.
Yeah, I saw some of the clips.
It was not awesome.
Listen, Kimberly, I'm going to say this. I'm not a Ravens fan. So obviously, that Super Bowl doesn't mean the same thing to me. I mean, I watched it with Jose. You know, it was fun and everything.
It meant a lot to me.
Watching them hold on for dear life after the power came back on. But the Ravens need to stop reaching into the past. Stop.
10 years.
Look to the future.
You got to celebrate it, though. You got to celebrate.
You got to celebrate.
How long, Mike?
But that's all Baltimore does.
For how long, Mike?
Hey, shout out to Shug says, yo, LBHT, sorry I missed the stream yesterday. Some crazy stuff went down. I ran into a burning building to save children. Okay.
Wow.
Hope you had a good night and a good win for the Ravens today. Hope my Steelers follow suit. Mike, my Hendo, my 2 favorite hosts.
Sure. I need you on open mic right now to discuss that running in a burning building.
See, here's the thing with Suge.
That's hot news.
You got to catch him. You catch him.
Here's the thing with Suge. That story could be 100% true, or he could have just been drunk.
But when you consider the fact that he posted a picture of a beer in the Discord very early that morning,
wait a minute,
and told me that he was studying.
Wait a minute, he was drinking early this morning.
No, before.
Oh,
yeah. He's not about the stream. Yes, whenever.
But
yeah.
G Star said, "Did Hamilton in no way play?" He got a fumble recover. We recovered the fumble.
Mm-hmm. Hamilton got a sack early on.
He stumbled into a sack. Yes.
Okay. I missed
into a sack
and missed some tackles. Yes.
Yeah. Yes, Davon. Drink responsibly. Yes. 75 people in here. Make sure you hit that like button. If you're new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you're over on Twitch, because we are streaming live on Twitch, go ahead and do whatever you do over there. Follow or whatever. Send. What do they send? What are those little bits, credits, whatever it is over there? Yeah. Those are my way if you're feeling generous.
And they also send subscriptions.
I still don't understand how that works on Twitch.
I don't either.
You subscribe to somebody, and then you're subscribed to them.
But is it like on Twitter where you hit the subscribe button? Because they have, I thought it was follow. They have a follow. It's like
no. So it's a paid subscription on Twitch. It's $5 a month, and then you get access to some special features that are not really special.
Because somebody sent me a subscription to their channel for free. I think free for like a month or 2.
Right.
Okay. All right. So look, guys, you don't need to hit the subscription over there. Okay. If you want to support the show, patreon.com/LBHTShow. That is patreon.com/LBHTShow. That's how you support this channel. It is greatly appreciated. That's where you can find all the bonus stuff. The overtime show that we do every Wednesday night after the main show, which starts at 7:15 p.m. Eastern time. The fellows that you see on the screen hang out with us. Who are you laughing at?
I'm so sorry, but this makes it more suspicious.
Right? You saw it too.
Rocket's here. Oh man, almost missed you.
Chen Wu, we need you to type right now.
Immediately, Chen Wu.
Chen Wu, we need you to type something right now. ASAP, ChenWu. Almost missed y'all. Y'all break down the game already. Okay, all right.
Chen Wu has been silent.
Right.
Yeah. Chen Wu, we need you on the screen right now. Right now.
Hey guys, the stream just started. What I missed?
Mr. J says 648 with tax over on Twitch. Okay, all right. Robert T. Lewis said it's called a gifted sub. A gifted sub is what you got. Okay. Thank you, Robert.
And if you have Amazon Prime, you get a free sub every. I don't know why we're advertising this. Like why are we talking about Twitch?
Chen Wu,
Rock. We're trying to grow in other places.
Okay, I won't like Owe, but I don't know here. He
got 2 devices next to each other.
Yeah.
It's getting weirder and weirder by the minute.
Okay, all right. We'll bite for now, but we're watching you, Chen Wu /Rock. What's going on?
Hey, Coach, why don't you come on screen? Then we don't have to stream on Monday.
Well, then we gotta get Chris on here.
He's not. Chris is sick, so.
Get well soon, Chris.
Yes.
Hey, this is for Coach, man. It's that crown for you, brother. This is a crown for you.
But yeah, no, like I said, I mean, it was a good win for Baltimore. The defense showed up. The defense played well. Yeah, and particularly Patrick Queen. You know, he made a lot of plays today. Marcus Peters, he got beat a couple times, but that's all right. That happens to the best of them.
Yeah.
But they stepped up when they needed to. Right. The offense, it was nice to see Gus out there. He had a decent day. A pretty good day when you count the touchdowns, obviously. But the passing game is just disgustingly bad. And that's why, even if I were a Ravens fan, I don't know how much I could celebrate this win or how good I would feel about this win, watching the offense continue to struggle to throw the ball, even when you have a top quarterback in the league. You're seeing that in Green Bay as well right now with Aaron Rodgers. Nobody's really talking about it very much, but they can't throw the ball either because they didn't provide him any receivers. They drafted a guy in the 2nd round. They drafted a guy in the 5th round. And then they got leftovers from Baltimore and Sammy Watkins. And you know what? He threw for 180 or 190 yards today in a loss to Washington. So
about 100 of those 180 yards were padded stats because that came at the very end.
Well, not padded. They were still in it.
No.
Yeah, they weren't.
Yes, they were. They lost by 2.
This is during the comeback. So, yeah.
Yeah. No, Aaron Rodgers has not been playing well these last few weeks. Well, this whole season, let's just be real. He hasn't been playing great. And that's expected when you don't have any help at all. This is a team sport. Like, it's funny how in a team sport,
I got you,
the quarterback is expected to isn't expected to have help. No, it says be just what?
Just put into words everything he's feeling.
So y'all two are agreeing now, so we know it's a problem.
Saul's here. What's up, Saul? Says once the 4th quarter starts is when I start sweating, man. Facts. Not the way I thought the season was going to go. Yeah. Yeah, all facts there, man. Kimberly says I want the Ravens all the best to play against Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay this Thursday night. They're gonna need it. Take a W for us Ravens fans.
Well, I think Thursday night is gonna be a hard game because Tom Brady and the Bucks took the day off today. So they're gonna be well rested.
Sure did.
They're gonna be well rested for Thursday.
And is that game in Tampa or in Baltimore?
I don't know.
That's Tampa. They in Tampa this week.
Yeah. Ooh.
It's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
All right, so look.
They got for real receivers down there.
I mean, so let me ask you, speaking of receivers, we signed Deshaun Jackson. We got Andy Isabella, who I forgot we signed until Hendo reminded me earlier. Right? He hasn't been activated yet.
Waiting in the wings.
Do they make a difference when they get activated?
No.
Even a slight difference?
No.
I think Deshaun makes a slight difference.
Oh,
I think he's still got something left, but it's not gonna look. If Baltimore wants to compete for anything other than the regular season glory they've had for the past 9 years, then no, they're not going to make any difference. If they're talking about winning a Super Bowl, they have to go and acquire a player who really moves the needle.
Yeah,
I think Deshaun makes a little bit of a difference. So Lamar goes from 120 yards passing to 132 yards.
You give him a man 12 yards. He don't run 12-yard routes, Hendo. You gotta at least say it's 120 to 141.
Okay, we'll give him that.
Coach said Prochet got on the stat book today.
A penalty, yes.
Well, with the personal foul.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
You know that he didn't get a catch.
Even though dude slapped him first, though.
Does he have more penalties than catches this year?
Yes.
He only has the one catch.
Yes. He doesn't have any catches, and he has 2 penalties.
No, he has 1 catch.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yes, he does have 1 catch.
Look, listen. We say a lot about Prochet. I know we are labeled as Prochet haters, which we're not, right?
That's my guy.
But we don't think that highly of him as in terms of just as a wide receiver, right? But I like him a lot more than Ricard running routes.
Huh.
I'll say that. Okay, like anytime you have Ricard running a route, that's a play that Prochet should be in there. I will definitely say that about Prochet.
The problem is that gives away the play, right? Because when the defense can say Ricard is in here, obviously they're running it because they don't let him run routes anymore. Or now Prochet's in, obviously they're passing it. That's a problem. That's part of why Ricard runs so many routes, I would think. But that problem is the problem with this whole offense is that we're too predictable. And no, I don't think Deshaun Jackson or Andy Isabella makes that big of a difference because we need a super talented player to come in here to really make a difference with this offense because it's too predictable and average guys aren't going to make a difference. The play calling, I mean, it's just not good. And the minimal amount of plays, opportunities that these guys get, we need somebody that can maximize those opportunities, and we don't have that on the team.
Yeah,
but I will.
No, go ahead, Hendo.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I will say this. I know y'all don't really like it too much, but Prochet got open. If Coach actually breaks it down, Prochet got open a couple times. Like
I don't doubt it.
He beat some dudes. They didn't hit him.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
Every receiver in the league gets open a couple times, especially against the secondary that's injured.
Darn it, Brodny! Can you just let this man have this?
No. Just like Patrick Queen, it's been 3 years. No, you can't just have. Oh man, I saw him get open today. No. Why are you on the team?
All right, Brodny. Okay, Brodny.
Wait, no, if we're gonna highlight a dude getting open, not even targeted, not making the catch, not scoring a touchdown, we're gonna highlight a dude just getting open. Why is he on the team?
Look. We're way past the Prochet. You know how good is Prochet? Like that. Like
not really.
Like I said, nobody's arguing that anymore. Nobody's arguing with this anymore. I'm talking about in this game where clearly like passing is a problem. Players getting open is a problem. You have a wide receiver that's getting open, but of course they're not looking at him because he's not really like that's he's not really an option, right? He's not drawn up for any plays. Why do you have Ricard out there? I don't care. So what if they know it's a passing play, right? So what? They know when you're going to run, right? And you're not afraid to run the ball.
But they don't know who's going to run.
Yeah, when they put Kenyon Drake in the game,
which is the entire basis of Greg Roman's offense.
Yeah,
right? Hey, you don't know if I'm going to give it to the running back or the quarterback.
Yeah.
Or Mark Andrews.
Coach said he was joking. B, calm down.
Right. No, I was addressing Hendo, Coach.
I know. Yeah. But if there's anger, it's always with me.
It's the same thing that I said last week on the stream. Like, don't praise Josh Oliver for 2 catches, because then you're gonna you start gaslighting yourself, and then you're gonna expect more. And now we got Jose over here talking about Josh Oliver not catching the ball this week. And this is like, no, he's Josh Oliver.
I knew that was a touchdown.
Look, shout out to Garnett. Garnett was in our chat saying that it was a tough catch. Man, this is what we say. Like, do we not notice this is what we say every week? Oh, it was a tough catch. Yeah, it hit him in 2 hands. Right? You're supposed to catch it. Bateman catches the ball, but he doesn't cross the goal line because he almost drops it. He has to fall on it. Right? So he stops short. He missed another one. No, like you said, it wasn't going to be for a first down, but it made the field goal kick a lot easier for Justin Tucker. Although Tucker's a sniper. Like he kicked that 56-yarder. Like when he kicks those long field goals, I don't even realize how far away they are, because they look like they're just right down the middle. It could be 30 yards. I wouldn't know, right?
They don't even talk about it on the broadcast how far they are.
No,
Justin Tucker's on. He's gonna make it.
Right.
In fact, they keep on saying it, like every time we cross midfield, they're like the Ravens are in field goal range. Right. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's why I thought the Browns was bugging out. Like, I'm like, wait, this dude, he ain't Tucker. You really gonna line him up?
I couldn't believe they decided to go for a 61-yard field goal. Man, like,
I thought that was
line up and go get the yards. That was stupid.
I even felt comfortable with him missing a 56-yarder before.
I get going for it on 56. Like you expect him to make it, right? But I mean, 61?
Coach, yeah. So I was wondering about that. Coach says that catch by Bateman at the goal line was a drop. I thought I saw the ball fall out. I wasn't sure if it hit the ground. I know he fell on it, right? Did he drop the ball?
Coach, I want to point out that he had 5 targets and 4 catches, so it in fact was not a drop.
No. He was saying that should have been a drop. It should have been a drop. You know which play I'm talking about? Right at the goal line. It's when I think Gus Edwards ran it in.
Yeah.
Right? He ran it in. But Oliver dropped the touchdown pass. And then he threw that slant to Bateman. And Bateman had it. He could, if he caught it clean, it's a touchdown.
Yeah.
But he bobbled, it fell down, and he fell on it.
Yeah, and then he caught it. I love that dropped passes are the touchstones for Ravens games, so that we can all dial into what part of the game we're talking about. No. It was right after the Oliver drop.
The Oliver drop? No. The Prochet drop, but no, this drop. Yeah.
Well, you always, the point of emphasis is you can always go back to Jose talking about Waddle's game against us. He had 5 drops, but nobody remembers.
Except for me.
Oh, Oliver. Yeah, Oliver was a drop.
Yeah, that was a drop. Dude didn't get his hand on the ball. He didn't pull his arm away. Nothing. That was a drop.
Yeah, you know why? Because he's a bad player and get better ones.
I mean, I'm just saying
Like,
to my man Garnett. Shout out to Garnett. You know, we had the 1-2 somebody on Twitter early this week, but that's for another story. But him saying it's a tough catch, like, no, you got to catch the ball. He has to make that catch. Period. Point blank.
Yeah. Willie Seabond, what's going on, man? Says, what's good, guys? Why do the Ravens rotate the wide receivers like high school football teams?
Because they can't play.
That's the caliber of players that they have.
But yeah, they don't have any wide receivers like high school football teams.
Yeah. Noah said, one of y'all already said it, but it's a real shame that Jay Tuck doesn't have more rings after being so good and saving the Ravens so many times. Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. You have a sniper like that.
He has something more valuable than rings. That's recognition as a kicker.
As the kicker, the greatest kicker.
Well,
he's a Hall of Famer playing right now.
We gotta wait till the end of his career, but I mean, it's certainly going that way. But I mean, remember Mike Vanderjagt?
Who?
An idiot kicker.
The previous
liquor it up.
The previous most accurate kicker of all time is who?
No, Justin Tucker is the most accurate kicker now.
No, I said
Military.
Previous most accurate kicker. No, Mike Vanderjagt.
He was
the most accurate kicker of all time, and then he got whatever happened. There was a kick that went directly sideways.
He did,
and then he could never make a kick again.
Yeah. Peyton Manning stole his soul after that. That's what happened. He said, "Don't ever beef with the Manning.
Don't ever come back. Don't ever come at me." Let me ask you a question.
What's up?
2 things. First thing is, if D-Jack plays this week and Andy Isabella doesn't, what's that all about? Because he's been here about 4 weeks.
They saw Andy Isabella in practice, and they said, "Oh,
like, oh man, no."
Yeah, who else is available?
Because
what if that is what happened?
I think it is.
I mean, something that situation is odd because, you know, like Deshaun Jackson said he could have played this week. He felt he could have anyway.
Yeah, they all did.
But and then question 2, right? And I'm sure we'll discuss this tomorrow with Coach. But we're looking at a 44-16 pass the run ratio, right? Like, I mean, we did call for them to run the ball last week more than they did. How y'all feel about that? Like, I'm not gonna get into the whole sabotage on Lamar thing or whatever, but obviously the game plan was to lean on the run heavy. They did it. They came out with the win. But what do you guys think about that ratio? Because that's pretty, you know, usually you close to 50% or, you know, little over or above on either end. That's drastic right there. So what's your thoughts on that?
Let's see. Lamar ran the ball 10 times. That's a couple more than I want him to run, but that's not bad for Lamar. As long as they're not leaning on Lamar for the majority of those runs, I'm okay with it. But you got to execute as well, right? But yeah, do what's working. That's the thing. It's not one or the other. Do what's working. I feel like they're going to run more because they just don't, you know, they don't have it in passing right now, right? If it works, fine. But if they're you know, blocking that up, and you know, there's some
moderators.
Oh, okay, yeah. If they're locking that up and they're giving you the pass, then you gotta take the pass. But obviously, that's the problem we have right now. We can't take advantage of the passing game. Outside of a trade, I don't know how we fix it.
Yeah, no, it's an embarrassment to run the ball 44 times and pass it 16 times with Lamar Jackson as your quarterback in the modern NFL. It worked in this game because they are starting Jacoby Brissett. Yeah, they have one good receiver, a couple of okay guys. So I mean, they're kind of in the same boat. And Njoku left the game, and they got Nick Chubb, right? But that's not gonna fly against a good team. And like I said, it comes down to the personnel for Baltimore. They don't have the players to have a more balanced scheme or even a pass heavy scheme. So it is what it is for the moment. They're going to have to try to run and lean on the defense and hope they can pull out wins.
Yeah, to me, it's an embarrassment. We come out and say we want to be a run dominant team. That's our identity, but we come out throwing the ball. Then we realize against good teams, we can't throw the ball. And then sometimes we can't run the ball. So, I just think this organization doesn't have an identity or direction. So,
yeah. 91 people in here. Go ahead and smash that like button. If you're new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also, you see Coach Evans in the chat. Okay. This guy right here, Sip2 Tally Films. Make sure you go over there and subscribe right now. ASAP. Subscribe. Okay. If you like this format right here, we do a live stream with Coach every Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Okay. The Ravens Roundtable. It's on Coach's channel. Also, Chris Just Joking joins us. It's 6 of us on there talking Ravens. It's a great time. And I think tomorrow's gonna be funny. It'll be quick, but
Victory Mondays is always quick.
Yeah, Victory Mondays are half the stream, but those losses, man, we'll be there for 2+ hours. But tomorrow, look, we're still gonna have a lot to talk about.
Jerry Jeudy is out there pumping up his value right now.
Is he
playing with Brett Rippon? He's got 4 catches, 78 yards already.
Okay.
Eric DeCosta just put the phone down.
He just priced himself out of here.
Now, I want to. So, Evil Lamar, shout out to you, man. He says they are sabotaging, though. So, look, we've been watching football here. All 4 of us, we've been, we're a little bit older. We've been watching football for a while, so we've seen this before, right? I'm not going to say that that's not what for sure what's happening, right? Can't say for sure, but I'll say this: if they are trying to. That never works, even with black quarterbacks, because we've seen this happen a few times. I think the most recent one that sticks out in my mind is with RG3, because that's exactly what Mike and Kyle Shanahan, which is why I don't like Kyle Shanahan today. They were both trying to sabotage RG3. They didn't want him. Snyder wanted him. They drafted Kirk Cousins in the same draft because they from day one they were trying to find a way to get RG3 up out of there, right? They're always leaking stuff to the media. I think they played a part in turning some of those players against RG3, right? But in the end, they got fired, right? RG3 outlasted them. If you look in Tennessee with Vince Young, when Jeff Fisher was there, Jeff Fisher didn't want Vince Young. And this is crazy to me because these are guys that they drafted. The team drafted and said, this is going to be our franchise quarterback. And you have a coach saying, don't want him, right? You should fire the coach immediately. But Jeff Fisher was actively working against Vince Young because he just didn't believe in him. They both, Vince Young gets cut or traded and Jeff Fisher gets fired, right? So it never works for that coach. Like Harbaugh, his job was saved by Lamar Jackson. So if he is trying to work against him, well, he'll be out the door before Lamar or at the same time as Lamar.
It took a while, but Geno Smith is having the last laugh on Rex Ryan right now.
Yes.
He's up 17-0 on the Chargers right now.
Woo!
Wow.
They might just be a bad team over there in LA.
They are.
So I think I asked you this on air, but if they don't make the playoffs this year, does that coach get fired?
Yup.
Because the only reason he's there was because what's his name? Lynn. Is that his name? Anthony Lynn?
Anthony Lynn.
Yeah, because he didn't get to the playoffs that rookie year with Herbert. Even though he was in the playoffs the year before that, whatever. But they haven't been to the playoffs yet.
Right. And when he gets fired, that's where Sean Payton's going.
And also, because Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow are the 2 quarterbacks people talk about getting extensions at the end of the year. So what's Justin Herbert's contract going to look like, right? I already know it's going to be huge because he's playing great, right? But he gets that huge contract. He hasn't been to the playoffs yet. Hello. What are we going to say? What are we going to say about Lamar?
Right. The same thing they do. That's my point that we kind of pointed out on Coach's show. And again, I keep referencing, my little fake Twitter exchange this week with a Ravens caper, but that's exactly my point to him. Like everyone pinpoints Lamar and his play, right? But you got these other highly touted. Some of them are rated higher than Lamar on a lot of their list, but they don't catch any of the criticism.
Yeah,
it becomes a time where, you know, the kid gloves are off, the training wheels are off. Justin Herbert is supposed to be good, and by all means, I think he's good.
Yeah,
Joe Burrow, I think he's good.
Yep.
But it becomes a time where you have to produce, right? When does it become a situation where, like, you're not doing anything, you're not taking your team to the playoffs, but they don't catch that same criticism that Lamar does? Even if he plays bad, it's all pointed out, it's all blasted on ESPN. But little Justin over there on the West Coast,
oh man,
nobody's saying anything, and he's 4-2, right? But at the same time, like, they've got to be the worst 4-2 team in the league, and he hasn't played in a playoff game yet.
Hey, Mike,
but they crushed Lamar because he had one playoff win.
Yeah.
He gets crushed for that. But you got a quarterback that's going to get paid just like Lamar, who hasn't won in or even been in the playoffs. So that's they kind of force you to protect Lamar like that. You come off as a Lamar protector, but it's real situation here. You just don't hear it when it comes to anybody else.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Josh says, so if they don't re-sign Lamar, what level of sports curse would we say we're asking for? I think it's Babe Ruth and the Red Sox straight up.
I can see that.
No, yeah, definitely agree. I mean, you think players don't want to come here now? Or there. I'm not a Baltimore fan, but let them let Lamar walk and not pay him his money.
There's so much at stake here that some fans, like the one Mikey was arguing with, don't realize, right? Well, one, the fan base in Baltimore, right, is overwhelmingly majority in favor of keeping Lamar, right? And there's a big portion of that fan base, a huge portion of that fan base, that is here for Lamar. So you shop them out, you ship them out, they'll be gone too. They don't care, right? Like, if you don't care, hey, if you guys don't care, we don't care. Like, we'll just go be fans of Lamar, right? Like why be loyal to a team that ain't loyal to us? That's how a lot of people are gonna look at it. So you're gonna lose a big chunk of the fan base, and you're gonna have people that are just mad. It's like, hey, you're messing up a good thing, right? It's so obvious that you're not helping him out. Like, it doesn't matter how you feel about him. That's obvious. Any quarterback that you do like, if you don't like Lamar, any quarterback that you do like, and you just swap out Lamar, put him in there, you would not be okay with what he's working with, right? Yeah. So it's obvious he doesn't have the help, and if you can't get that deal done, you've never spent money on anybody else. You can't even say you spent money on the defense. The defense is just not looking good enough. Yeah, that's going to look bad for your franchise, not just from a fan standpoint, but any other player that goes in after that. It's like, well, y'all don't take care of your players, so why would I sign there?
That's why I posted the clock on Twitter.
Yeah, I saw that.
The doomsday clock. Y'all gonna be using it pretty soon too.
I was about to say, B, you gonna have to add one for me if they let Lamar walk.
I'm gonna have to get one made up for Carolina for this offseason because we getting real close.
So
turning down 2 first-round picks for Brian Burns.
So what happens if he leaves?
Disgusting.
Are y'all leaving too?
I'm out.
I'm out. Look.
I'm moving to wherever city he's going to. I'm out like that. I'm leaving the city.
I put it like this, right? It's just like I'm a Maryland Terrapin fan. I mean, how are they doing? I don't know. I mean,
right?
You know, if I'll let you know when they have a good year. Yeah, I'll throw a jersey on. But when they're down, I don't know what they're doing. That will be me for the Ravens. Yeah. I'm a Ravens fan. Sure. I watch more Lamar games now, but I'm a Ravens fan. Let me know when they're good again. You think I'm going to stick around for these bad times that they force upon themselves?
No.
Hell
right.
no.
Right. And that's to your point, Zay. I can stick around through bad times. Listen, if I'm not wearing a Ravens hat, I'm wearing an Orioles hat. So I stuck around through the bad times, but those are the self-inflicted bad times I cannot deal. And if we let him walk, that's going to be just like my man said, just like Josh said. You're putting a curse on this franchise if you let a player of that caliber walk out of here. They don't fall in your lap like that all the time. So that'll be self-inflicted, and I'm out. Like I can't, because we haven't had this caliber of player in this city, especially on offense, right? So again, I can deal with rebuilds. Hey, just didn't work out that way. But how many years, right, do we have to go through them not wanting to spend money in the offseason? Every year we pump ourselves up. All right, man, we got a little bit of cap money. They're gonna sign a free agent. They're gonna be aggressive in the draft this year because we got 37 million picks. We're gonna move up, and we don't do it. So everything is self-inflicted at this point. But if Lamar leaves, that's the final straw for me.
Yeah, I told somebody yesterday that I was going to do a Ravens podcast on Lamar's team, wherever he went.
But
That'd have been great.
Mike is absolutely right. It really takes it out of you when it's not just, oh, okay, things didn't bounce our way. Right. It's when the organization is not even they're not even attempting to get better, to close the gap with other teams to compete for a title. I mean, look, that's what's going on with me in Carolina. If you go to our website, LBHTShow.com, and you click on it's called Tailgate Tidbits, where we have all the sports articles. Scroll all the way back to the very beginning. The very first article I posted was an extremely detailed offseason plan for Carolina a couple of years ago when they were going through should they keep Cam or get rid of Cam, right? And I ain't done that since, because why? For what? They're not going to do anything resembling it, so why bother?
Yeah.
Why do I want to sit here and talk about, oh, well, they need to go after this guy, they need to go after that guy? Why do I want to, look at draft prospects and say, oh man, this guy would be a great fit here? They're not going to do it. So what's the point?
Look. I understand fandomness and wanting to be loyal to the team, right? But don't be one of those blind followers, because that's what the team is counting on. And when they make moves, they don't have the fans' best interest in mind. Sometimes this ain't even in their organization's best interest, right? Because they are going to lose money if Lamar walks out the door. They're not going to have another superstar like that to replace him immediately, right? So they're doing that in spite of their own selves, right? The winning, the ticket sales, the jersey sales, all that stuff. If just because they want to save a couple of dollars so they don't have to feel like they lost a negotiation battle to a young black quarterback. That's what this is really about, right? And if they're going to be that petty, you don't owe them anything, right? Say, okay, yeah, I'm still a fan. I won't show up to any of the games. I won't be watching on TV. I'm gonna save my energy for something else, right? So, I mean, like I said, you don't owe these teams anything. Trust me, we'll still give you some good content. We're always going. We'll always talk some Ravens, but if they completely just jump ship on Lamar, look, the Lamar party will still be going here on LBHT. I can promise you that. Akeem Johnson says Kubiak at OC was the only time our offensive weapons had clear defined roles. The issue with Harbaugh is he allows Greg to play guys in small doses. This is absolute facts.
Yep.
That was the cleanest our offense had ever looked. Right. Yeah. That's just well said. Well said. Don't need to add to that. We got Jared Green. Are you trying to respond to MDT Sports? Says facts. That's exactly my point. We ain't stupid. What did MDT Sports say? He said, if Lamar leave, black fans are gone, and I'm leaving too. There you go. Right. Yeah, we're not stupid. We know exactly what's going on. That's why we point it out on the show all the time.
And that's the easy side of it, right? We already know that's gonna happen. But you take the race out of it. Like, yo, if you want to be a competitive team, why let a MVP walk out of this town? Why let a top 10 quarterback walk out of this town? We have never had a top 10 quarterback.
Never.
So you know how the panic in Green Bay when it was, Aaron isn't going to sign back. The panic of him asking for a trade, wanting to go, that thing. It should be the same panic here if it gets to the point where Lamar is ready to leave. Yeah. And I know what you're going to say. Y'all going to say, oh, Aaron got Super Bowls and all that. I'm not even talking about – I'm talking about the meaning or what he means to that town, the same thing is what Lamar means to this town and organization.
I think
so
it's
the
more.
same effect.
Yeah. It's definitely more. Aaron Rodgers don't care about nobody. But
That's
the thing
true.
in Baltimore, like Bisciotti, it's not about winning.
It's not.
And that's all it comes down to. As they say, they're going to lose money for ticket sales and merch, and that's that's probably true. But signing him means he loses a huge chunk of money right now today, because he has to put in all the money to cover that contract in escrow immediately. So he's probably looking at it that way, and they're about to get a big bump in TV money, and he's probably saying, you know what, we win games, the ticket sales won't go anywhere, and I can do without some Lamar jersey sales.
But here's why I hear you, but Bisciotti's worth like $6 billion, right? I know a lot of people think this. I want to dispel this right now, right? I'm not in this man's finances, like that, but I could tell you he did not become a billionaire because of the team. He's not team rich. This man was a billionaire when he bought this team. He's got money, right? Yeah, go ahead.
I hear what you're saying, and yes, he's got money, but with a lot of these owners, they aren't liquid. All of their money is tied up in real estate and investments and other things, so they don't have that actual money to put in the bank. I'm not saying that Bisciotti doesn't. You know where he made his money from, right? It's a tech recruiting agency, right?
Aerotech, right? So he doesn't do it's not real estate or anything like that. Like
so he got the cash.
He got the cash, is what I'm saying.
that makes it even worse.
Yeah. He has the money. That's not the problem. And these teams' revenue, I know what they're shooting for. I can't remember what year it was. I was reading this article. I want to say 2027. And I could be off on this, but in the near future, they are trying to make it to where every team is bringing in close to $1 billion revenue every year. So the money's there, right? It's not like you said, B, like it's not about winning. It ain't even about the money. It's about ego. Because if it was a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, they would give it up no problem.
Well, no, it is about money to an extent. Because it's the money tied in with the ego, and like you're not worth that. I'm not giving you that.
Yeah.
And another thing with the ego, Mike, to the point is they feel like they made Lamar. They feel like we implemented this system which made him successful. We can do it again because my ego's so bloated. I feel like I can make anybody a Super Bowl winning quarterback. That's how Harbaugh is, and that's how his coaches are. So they feel like Huntley really is that dude to replace Lamar while they save some money.
And they got a taste of that last year.
Right.
He had a long stretch and he didn't do anything. And I like Huntley.
But it's injuries. They're going to blame it on injuries. Listen, I don't like ShopRite. I like going to Weiss. I like going to something else. I don't need ShopRite. It may be cheaper and you may get some of the same stuff, but a lot of stuff don't taste the same. It don't work out right.
You're right, Hendo. I believe that some of that's going on. But again, history shows that that's never the case. Right? History shows that when the Eagles moved on from Donovan McNabb, they traded him because they thought he was done. Hey, Kevin Kolb was the answer, right? When RG3 was gone because they always wanted Kirk Cousins. Hey, Kirk Cousins is the answer, right? And they couldn't wait to get rid of Kirk Cousins. It's always the case when you don't put 100% faith in that franchise quarterback, and you think the backup can come in there and take over. That's when you run into all kinds of problems, right?
You do, but they also don't care because they don't care about winning. And listen, I don't know if you guys ever watched Shark Tank, right? And if you don't know what it is, it's a bunch of filthy rich people sit there and say, "Hey, go ahead and beg me for my money for your business, and we'll see." Mark Cuban is on there, right?
Yeah,
and I mean, he's not the only one, but he's the most recognizable one. And he'll straight up tell people like, "Yeah, I mean, you gotta be tighter in your presentation. You gotta know your numbers. You gotta do because $50,000 is a lot of money." Like, no, it isn't, Mark. Not to you. What are you talking about?
It's nothing.
What are you talking about? You could give everybody $50,000 just for looking at you. Like it's nothing to you. But when you have a billion, like what does a billionaire want? They want more billions, not to give some of it away. They want more of it.
Yeah.
So, he doesn't want to give Lamar that kind of money on principle. It's too much.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Mikey.
No, I was just throw this in. If you're not going to do it, then why not trade him? Trade him.
Well, no, because they're going to wait him out and make him ask for the trade.
Because they have to make him look bad when he leaves. If you trade him, Baltimore's going to burn.
If it's that bad, right? If you believe in your backup, like we're saying they do, what are you doing? Like let's get you already on the books for $23 million now. Like just be all the way cheap, trade him, get some more draft picks that you're gonna not be successful with and picking, and just move on. But why draw it out? Like he's the only. It's frustrating because he's the only quarterback of that caliber that had to do this about their money. Pat didn't have to wait. Josh didn't have to wait. Aaron didn't have to wait.
Kyle didn't have to wait.
Dak had to wait.
Dak had to wait. But
Kyler Murray got his a year early.
Kirk Cousins, he's not quite on that level, but Kirk Cousins. But this is it's the same thing. I think it's the same situation. Washington felt like, hey, we brought you up from nothing because you were bad, and we, bad. Yeah, you were awful, and we coddled you, we cultivated you, and we got your confidence up, and you owe us, right? I think that's how they looked at it, and he was just like, nope, I'll wait. And they franchise tagged him. He said, yep, I'll take that. I'd like all my money up front. And they said, well, we'll tag you again. He said, yep, I like that too. Right. And they're like, well, damn. Okay, fine. We'll let you go then. Right. I think Baltimore kind of feels that way too. I think there's a little bit of that. Hey, we kind of built you into this. You got to show a little loyalty here. And yeah, he has no agent. I think they just thought they could take advantage of a player with no agent, especially Lamar Jackson. And it's not working out that way. And they hate it. Right. And I think instead of just saying, damn, okay, you got me on this, they're waiting until the very end to see, okay, will he fold on this? But Lamar is playing with house money. There's no scenario where he's going to make less. I mean, right now he's only guaranteed to make even more money than what it was before the start of the season, right? Doesn't matter how this season goes, he's going to get that money. AZ Stunner says, when will we get rid of G-Ro and John? Listen, G-Ro looks so happy right now. You see that video of that guy on Twitter? He's going to dapping him up. G-Ro looks so happy because he's just like, Mike McDonald's here, and he's taking all the pressure off of me. They hate him.
Oh, it's been a few weeks of, man, G-Ro actually did pretty decent. FireGro.com ain't getting the hits that he used to get.
He's got those big old cheeks. I've never seen a man smile so hard. I think G-Ro feels very comfortable right now. But when does he get fired? He gets fired when John Harbaugh gets fired. So, I mean, if they're not firing John Harbaugh,
somebody threatens to fire John Harbaugh.
Yeah. Look, it's a long season still. I mean, we'll see. But right now, I don't think anybody's looking at this team and saying G-Ro is a problem. Not even me, right? I know he is a problem, but he's not the problem right now. Like, you kept G-Ro, you know what he can do. He's maximizing the most of what he can do as an offensive coordinator, right? Where's the talent?
Well, yeah, and I was saying, like, he's a bad offensive coordinator. We've known that for years. He has to go, but you're not doing anything to help him. Right. And look, I hate to say it, but I'm not seeing a big jump out of these wide receivers thanks to the wide receiver saviors they hired.
Yeah.
Like you have to get talent. This is what I think is a misconception about the NFL. I saw a guy rocking there saying it's a developmental league. It's not a developmental league. We've heard multiple players say that the coaches on these NFL teams are not there to develop you. They work with their own personal coaches in the offseason trying to get better. That is not the NFL staff's job. Their job is to coach you into what they want you to do for that specific team that week. So yeah, I mean the idea that, hey, we've got this guy, he's not very good, but we're gonna coach him up over the course of a couple of years, and then it's gonna be straight. It's not realistic.
Yeah. So Rock, I don't want to go too much back and forth with Rock because Rock be saying some stuff without doing some research.
Oh no,
But-
it was just that he was talking to somebody.
No. I mean, he said Cup developed into a number one, and they traded for Matt Stafford, who was kind of coming back down to earth. Cooper Kupp was already a good wide receiver before Matt Stafford got
very good wide receiver.
So his rookie season, 62 catches, 869 yards, 5 touchdowns. Second season, he only played 8 games. He had 566 yards and 6 touchdowns. That's in 8 games. Okay, 40 catches. 2019, he had 94 catches, 1,161 yards, 10 touchdowns. 2020, he played, looks like 12 games, 92 catches, 974 yards.
That's coming back off a torn ACL.
Yeah, and 3 touchdowns. And then last year with Matt Stafford, he had 145 catches, 1,900 yards, 1,947 yards, 16 touchdowns. And so far this year, he has 56 catches, 607 yards, 4 touchdowns. We don't have any wide receivers. We've never had any wide receivers like that in Baltimore, right? Not even close.
Did you guys see the stat that they released earlier about Mark Andrews? If he had 100 yards today, or the next time he has a 100-yard game, he'll be the first Ravens receiver to have 10 100-yard games in a career.
10.
The first
10
in history of the Ravens. Like, it's just
with the trash.
It's just come on, man. It's come on. We got to wake up eventually and just see, like, hey, we gave you the list last week or Wednesday this week.
Yeah,
we gave you his weapon. Like, come on, man. It's just not. It's not there. You blame the coaches, blame whoever you want. I think we kind of talked about that too last week, Hendo. Like, at the end of the day, coaches, you can blame them, but if you giving them, you ain't letting them buy the groceries that they're supposed to cook. Or if you like you said, if you go in the shop right instead of Wegmans,
right,
the groceries, then this is what you get. So.
All right, we're gonna wrap this up, man, because we're gonna be going at this tomorrow on the Ravens Roundtable over at Sip2 Tally Films. That's Coach's channel. But before we get out of here, I'll read a couple more and then we'll get out of here. Shout out to Filthy. Filthy says it's a shame how black QBs have to overly prove themselves. Yep. Yeah, guys like Stafford, Wentz, Carr, etc., all got paid and didn't have a single playoff win. Yeah. It's a good point. Mr. Jada6 says EDC will want that the Timberwolves foolishly gave up for Gobert for Lamar, and some team will pay up. Well, listen, they'll if they trade Lamar, they'll get a whole lot in return. Don't get me wrong, but none of it will make up for what we lose in Lamar, because what they're not going to give you is a superstar quarterback. Right. So, all right, they get all these picks. Well, one, that we're not good at picking players in the draft. So what does that matter? 2, if they trade for players, okay, fine. You're adding players that you didn't want to add before. What message are you sending there? And we still don't have a quarterback like Lamar Jackson.
Right.
So we're going to be a worse team no matter what. All right. Let's see. Successful Hustler says they named tight end Day and let Andrews get no bump, no catches. Boy, the NFL sure knows how to take people's fantasy money. That's a fact.
Wow.
All right, we're going to end it there, man. Before we get out of here, man, ain't no final thoughts. Hendo, we'll start with you.
Final thoughts. I think the team is in trouble. I think most of the Ravens flock, they look and say, look, we got the pieces, we got the wins. But me personally, I'll always look to how does this equate to playoff runs? And the team that we have now, if we make the playoffs, I don't think we're good enough to win. So now, once again, we get into that narrative of Lamar makes it to the playoffs, but he goes out in the first round. So, they know what they're doing. They know that they're not providing him any kind of talent. Like you said, Andy Isabella, Deshaun Jackson. You sign him, you don't play him. I don't even think Deshaun might play this Thursday. So what are we doing? Like, hey, even your man Tyler Wallace is hurt. So why weren't one of those guys activated and brought up?
Yes.
I just don't know where this team is going, and I don't like it. So if we go with kind of the vibe of the Ravens, win one, lose one, we're going to lose Thursday and be 4-4 and be right back here again.
Mikey, what you got?
Man, look, I win. I'll take the win, right? And like I said earlier, divisional wins, they are must win games, especially in this division. Like they were saying during the telecast, a Browns win would have catapulted them to the top of this division, and we would have fell below them. So you take the win, right? And I am happy about that. The one thing about this team, I will say, they have never been blown out thus far this season, so they can play with whoever is on the field. I feel comfortable that they can compete with whoever's there. It's just how long, and can they close, and can they finish, and can they put knees and put your knee on their neck and close the game. That's really
on necks, like
foot's on neck. Yeah, that's really and that was a bad one. I shouldn't have said that. Foot on neck. Let's go with that one, not knees. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But they just finding a balance, right? And finding a way to adjust and continue to get healthy. I think this team can play with anybody. But we have to be honest with ourselves and realize that it's really not a great team. It's just not that. You know what I mean? We'll take the wins, but it's not great, and we got a lot to clean up. But I'm happy with the win. No matter, even though it forced me to do this and gave me a headache and all of that stuff, but I'll take it, man. But we got to get better. Got to continue to get better.
All right, B. Give us a couple of your thoughts on the Ravens and some Panthers. Final thoughts.
Like I said, the Ravens, the trade deadline is November 1st. They have to make a move if they want to be serious about contending this year, which, I don't think they do, but if they want to, they have to make a move for a wide receiver by then. Carolina, stop trading your best players and then trying to win games. Just stop it. And Rock, yes, no one said that players don't get better. We said it's not the coach's job to develop them in the NFL. Please learn to comprehend what people say to you. Please, I'm begging you.
He gets it. He
just likes talking about Antonio Brown, who was an 1,100-yard receiver the first time that he played consistently.
Where's Chin-Woo?
Where is Chen Wu? Front and center, sir.
He did disappear.
But no, with Carolina, hopefully they make the right hire, they make the right pick. Not really going to be tuned into the rest of this season. Today aside, they're still not a good enough team to actually make any kind of run. So it is what it is.
All right. Look, like y'all said, it's an ugly win, but at least we got the win. It was almost another meltdown. It's concerning to me that we're melting down in the fourth quarter the same way every single week. And Hendo mentioned at the beginning of the stream that it's a mental thing. And who does that fall on? The coaching, right? That's where
Hey Chin.
Right.
Just wanted to make sure you was just make sure you were still in here. Go ahead, Zay. I just wanted to make sure you were still in here.
After we mention his name.
Thank you, Chadwood. Thank you for showing up there. But it's a mental thing, right? And who's that fall on? That falls on the coaches. It's supposed to fall on the leader of men, right? That's what they keep calling John Harbaugh. He's not that. But if he's supposed to be all that, he's supposed to be, inspiring and a leader and all that stuff. That can't be happening every single week, right? And it's like clockwork, because the minute we went up 10 points and I was like, okay, we're a little bit further into the fourth quarter. We should hold out. And as soon as I thought that, we give up a touchdown, right? And it's just like, here we go. I texted B. I was like, here we go. It's happening, They have to fix it. They can't just keep saying, oh, we got to finish. We got to finish. We got to finish. Like, it has to happen. You are Chen Wu. I'm
exactly what an imposter would say.
Yes.
And yes, I said it's not a developmental league because it's not a developmental league. That doesn't mean that players don't develop on their own and get better. It's not the job of the coaches on the NFL staff to develop the players. It's not what they're there for. That doesn't mean players don't get better, Rock.
That's right, baseball life. Of course he would say
Of
that.
course he would.
No, okay, but look, we're gonna get more into it. Obviously, tomorrow we're gonna get to it on our Wednesday show. I don't feel good about this Thursday night game. Yes, Tampa looked bad today, but I don't feel good about it because, man, what are we going to do differently from this game to next game? What's going to be different? I'm not even sure. Like, who are we missing? Like who are we missing that's going to really affect the game more? I mean, Bateman was out there today. Ronnie Stanley was out there, wasn't he?
He got hurt.
He got hurt.
Him and Morgan Moses.
Okay. What did they say? How bad it was?
I haven't heard anything yet.
Stanley finished. I think he finished the game, didn't he? He was out there, man.
Okay. But we know he's not. Yeah, he's not at 100%. We know that. So maybe it's more. Hopefully, players get a little bit healthier. I mean, it's a quick turnaround, but I just don't see what's going to be different going into next week. And next week we're playing a better team. So
short week. Shout out to Gus Bus, man. Gus,
yes,
Gus played hard, man, for his first game back. I mean, you know, there was no kid gloves with him, obviously. So shout out to Gus. He played well. Hopefully Bowser coming back. I mean, Houston looked solid. Hopefully, you know, getting Bowser back healthy, that'll add to that rotation, and then, you know, maybe you'll see a little more pass rush. But yeah, offensively, it's not looking great.
Maybe you get Charlie Kohler.
Cole, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what we get on him. Yeah, you know, I'm still looking on.
I guess we need some more blocking. Whatever. All right.
You talking to yourself?
All right, we still got 8 people in here. Hit that like button. If you are new, hit that subscribe button on your way out. Like we said, we're going to be doing another live stream tomorrow on Coach's channel, which is Sip to Tally Films. Also, our live stream on Wednesday night at 7:15 p.m. Eastern time. So, yeah. And Darren says, how's T.O. looking right now?
He's looking fast. I'll tell you that.
I'll take him.
But you got a fast guy in Deshaun, so
yeah. And Andy Isabella, he's fast too.
Yeah, super fast.
Yeah, we just need somebody who can catch. All right, that is it. We're getting out of here. Also, tomorrow, hold on, B, hold on. Tomorrow, we are dropping open mic with OTR Mike. Yes. Tomorrow is the show.
Yeah. Finally, right?
And I heard it's a special one too.
It's a special one. Just for you, Hendo. Just for you.
For me?
Yeah.
That's right. All right. What do you read, B? You can't contain yourself over there.
I'm laughing at telling each other we're not the same person.
Yeah. Look. That's what
Rock, I am not you.
It's the Spider-Man meme when they point at each other.
Open mic with OTR Mike dropping tomorrow, along with the newest episode of Ring Kings podcast. While B gets himself together over there. Are you ready, B? Yes.
I'm always ready.
Ring Kings right there. All right. Hendo, thanks for joining us. Mikey, thanks for joining us. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Look, the chat is getting bigger, so we can't get through every single one of these comments like we used to. But look, if you're wondering, well, where's your super chat? There are 2 ways we do super chat. One is not on the screen. It's a $ LBHTShow. Okay, that's our Cash App. I'll bring it up so you can see it real quick. Bam, there it is. $ LBHTShow. That's the Cash App. Also, that pin link that you see in the comment will get you. We'll take you to our stream elements. And both ways, you leave your donation, leave your comment, and that's where you see Microphone Man right there. Microphone Man. That's when he gives you the fist, like I always give you. Okay. But yes, we're getting out of here. Thank you so much. Oh, Danny's ready, B. He said play the credits.
I need to holler, Danny.
Yes.
Play the credits.
Play the credits. All right. Look, Danny said it. So let's do it. See y'all next time. Be safe. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Peace.